our 10-minute change the mode daily streams. If you missed our previous peak previews, we have been broadcasting every day at 1 p.m. New York time together with a Grammy Award winner, conductor John McLaughlin Williams. We are on our fourth episode. What a marathon, John, isn't it?
Really, we're going to set the record here. I tell you.
We
At least
intend
for me.
to, that's for sure. And there's never enough time for the amazing guests who you bring to this program. I always feel like I just started to enjoy the beautiful music and thoughtful conversations, and you telling me that we are already running out of time. John, can you extend it a little bit, please?
I'm just following orders. I was told 10 minutes, but the guests we have are so amazing and estimable that it's impossible not to run over time. Luckily, we can do that.
Exactly. You know what? Let's ditch the orders. Whoever gave those orders, they're
That
not
would be
on the
you.
stream right now.
Thank you, boss. Yeah.
Love
Got
you.
it. Orders received. Well, it's great to be back here for another preview here for Music to Meeting, M2M. Music to Meeting is an endeavor of Momentum Artists, which is an artist management firm based in New York City and was founded by Lena Kandros. The Music to Meeting is an endeavor that's bringing music to firms and businesses around, and team building activities meant to boost productivity and morale. The artist in Momentum's roster are world-class musicians that cross genres, and that's what these previews this week have been about. We are introducing several artists over the week from the roster, all of whom have had long and successful careers already. And this is all leading up to a concert, a virtual concert that we're giving on August 1st at 1 o'clock. It will be streamed on all the social media platforms that will introduce Music to Meeting and these artists to hopefully the world at large, at least a part of the world that hasn't seen them already, because these people are so well known and so accomplished that many people already know them. And that includes our guest today, who is Mo Pleasure. Mo Pleasure is the music director for Earth, Wind, and Fire, and his career as a Renaissance man and popular music is just extraordinary. The list of people that he's played for is too long for me to mention here, but let's just say that he knows everybody, and he's played it for everybody, and he is such an accomplished musician that it's a pleasure to have you here, Mo. I tell you, I've heard you, and I cannot tell you how impressed I was with your skills. So welcome.
Thanks so much, John. It's a pleasure to be here. And Anna, thank you so much.
Really, I have to say that your ability to switch between bass and keyboards is just phenomenal. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got started with music?
Well, that goes way back to like 4 years old, and my parents saw something in me. My father was actually school principal, but a singer, with incredible voice. His, kind of like Pavarotti, Paul Robeson.
Wow.
Yeah. Incredible singer, but he wasn't a professional singer, so he'd sing in church and do a community singing and community concerts, and even I have some of his records. But he was so I was doing a lot of that kind of stuff, show tunes, classical music, the Messiah, the spirituals, that kind of stuff. I end up starting kind of his accompanist. So, we'd be wherever we were, I would be the guy playing the piano, so that was kind of my early training on everything that took me through my career.
Wow. Yeah. And it seems that Earth, Wind, and Fire has played a role in your life. I mean, well before you actually began to work with them. How old were you when you first saw Earth, Wind, and Fire?
I was 14 years old. It was at the Civic Center in New Haven, Connecticut. And it changed my life. It was that defining moment that I could like literally hear the bell, go off in my head. Like, okay, that's what I want to do. So actually getting to work with them years later was amazing.
Wow. Yeah. I have to say, Mo, that one thing that really impressed me about you is the studied nature of what you do. You have a really fierce intelligence that you bring to your playing that is hidden by your amazing ability to make it seem spontaneous.
Well, thank you. Probably a lot of it is more spontaneous than than you would know. I mean, I am a fan of spontaneity and, all the things that go with it. First takes in the studio, I think, have a certain energy to them and stuff. So yeah, I just try to be kind of real with all of my, whatever's going on the inside. That's what I'm trying to kind of just project and hope that somebody hears that.
Mhm. Well, despite your long involvement with R&B, it sounds to me as if your roots are a bit more eclectic. I hear quite a bit of a jazz, and at least in the voicings that you use. And when I saw a couple of clips you did with EWF, that when you were fooling around with the voicings and certain choral combinations, which really move it to a different level. I tell you.
Thank you. Thanks, John. I was fortunate to have a band that would let me do that, like kind of really make it mine. Because I mean, let's face it, Larry Dunn. I'm not even trying to mess with anything that he did because he's
Right.
the baddest, and he's actually really, really good friend. So I mean, like I'm just a fan of his. And so, but at the same time, I knew that wasn't my style. So they were gracious enough to let me kind of just bring my style to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it was a great eclectic. It was a great group of musicians at that time too. So like, I had Sonny Emery, who was like one of my best friends, and Sheldon Reynolds and all that. And it was like a whole host of others. So that people that had actually been in the band and the new people meshed. David Romero meshed in a way that was like really special. So that time period that I was there, I was very lucky, to get an incredible band.
Wow. Tell me, when you are playing bass, how do you decide whether to use an electric or stringed bass or to use a synth bass?
It just has to do with investigating the song and trying things out, seeing what speaks to you. How do you best express yourself? What do you think serves the song the most? And that could be a lot for so many reasons. I mean, the thing about Verdine White is he's still my favorite bass player. And the reason why is because you can sing all those bass lines.
That's a good way to put it. Vocal bass lines, right?
Absolutely. Everybody, I mean, think about those old records. It's like half the people are singing the bass line, because they know, oh, here comes that part where he does this, I mean, like his voice is just so huge in that music. So I learned from him and the way it feels, which is just so unique and so regal and funky. It's just like, there's just no substitute. So and certainly there's so many others that are my heroes as well, but to get to play with him was amazing.
That really makes me wish we had a lot more time. I'd love to talk about some more macro things about bass playing, certain finger styles, certain techniques, and that sort of thing. Of course, that's music for you. There's always something to talk about.
Right.
But I tell you what, this might be a good time to get to some music. Would you feel like playing a little something for the audience?
Absolutely, John. Let me just do a little switching here and play a little piano here.
Wow, that's fabulous.
That's an improvised little ditty with a little bit of fantasy from Earth, Wind, and Fire in there, and a little bit of my song that I'm going to play on the show Saturday. So
Oh, that's excellent. Wow, it seems to embrace so many different worlds. Really, that's eclectic in the best sense of the word. Really, just phenomenal.
Thanks so much.
So on Saturday, you're going to be with your partner Kedma, who is
Yeah,
also a phenomenal singer. Can you tell us a little bit about
phenomenal.
Kedma?
Yes. Yeah, Kevin is from Wales. She's from Aberystwyth, Wales. And, you know, we started working together about 3 years ago. And we've done a lot of songwriting together and studio stuff and live stuff. And then we got together, we're partners. And so we do a lot of shows from home. And so this Saturday will be an example of kind of what we do. And she's amazing. I just, forget me, I'm just a piano player. When she's here, she's amazing. So we're really looking forward to Saturday.
Well, she certainly made an impression on me when I heard some of her performances. So she's from the land of very few vowels, I see, Wales.
Exactly, yeah.
Indeed.
I'll never learn it. I'm not
Yeah. Wow. And where did you first encounter Kedma?
You know, it was actually on a show that I did on the Christmas time, a Motown Christmas show, and she was recommended by somebody. We hired her to do the show, and she came in and nailed it, you know. And I was just like, wow, where did she come from? And she does a lot of stuff. She's actually working on some really, right as we're speaking, she's working on something really big at Buckingham Palace. So there's.
Oh, that's a good excuse for not being here. Oh, I can't be there. I'm at Buckingham Palace. Sorry, guys.
Left me hanging, you know. But that's all. It's all good, you know. We really, I think, musically click together. So it's always fun.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Yeah. So tell us what's next. So you have an album in the works. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's been in the works for a long time, John. But it's like definitely coming to that, you know, the pinnacle of being finished. And actually, I've actually got another project called We Are One, and that's like a kind of We Are the World type Michael Jackson youth song. We've got Michael McDonald on there, and Josh Stone, and Peabo Bryson. And Alita Adams, and on and on. And it's a lot of British artists, the choir, and this kind of thing. So we're doing this as a project that's it'll be a benefit. I won't say you yet, but we've got a video to go with it, a compilation video. Everybody's sending in. So it's really exciting. That should be out in the next, you know, hopefully month and a half or so.
Well, talk about a good time for an album to come out. This is it. And no one has anything else to do but listen to it.
That's absolutely true. I believe that.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Well, tell me, the music to meeting is something obviously we all very much believe in. How did you get acquainted with music to meeting, and how do you know Lena Kandros?
I know Lena very well. It's been now, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years, and it's a strange story, but we really did literally meet on LinkedIn through LinkedIn, and she was in Singapore at the time, and I happened to be going through there with David Foster, so we contacted each other about getting together and doing some meetings. And she was like very diligent on, you know, getting people to do meetings with me and stuff. So I met her in Singapore about 8 years ago, and then she moved to New York City and she started her management company, which I knew would be very successful. And now we've got Music to Meeting working together on this.
Wow, that's fabulous. I should say, extrapolate a bit more about Music to Meeting. Music to Meeting is going to be bringing music to the workplace for businesses and corporations, live performances and team building activities given by world-class musicians who, of course, have developed collaborative skills to the highest level. These are invaluable lessons for disciplines far outside of music. And subscription packages will be available for differing budgets and needs. And one of the best things about this is that the interactions that they can have with the musicians that will be coming to them right from their own homes, much as you are right now. Exactly. The companies can have an unlimited number of participants because of the technology that we're using. There's no limit on how many people can do it at a single time. And the best part is that we'll be available across all time zones worldwide.
That's right. That's absolutely right. It's amazing. It's a breakthrough in so many ways. You know, technology is caught up to this point to where it's perfect timing, actually, because people are in need of.
Indeed, in need, absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No kidding. This is really the time for this. So I thought it was a wonderful concept, and I'm happy to be involved in it. Maybe the next time we do this sort of thing, you can be the interview and I'll play something. We'll see.
Yeah, I would love that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Really? Well, Mo, it's been great having you here. Really, I can't wait for a Saturday to roll around with Kedma. I know it's going to be just a phenomenal experience with you and all the other artists. I want to thank you so much for joining us. And once again, this is a Mo pleasure. And I'm John McLaughlin Williams, and we're here for a Music to Meeting. And we'll see you again tomorrow for another preview. So,
Cheers.
take care.